Welcome to the JAMODI podcast. We are all surrounded by amazing coaches and leaders. So let's get an inside look at not just what they do, but how they do what they do. After all, becoming the best versions of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it. Coaches, the JAMODI podcast is powered by Shoot 360. The future of basketball has arrived in Dallas-Fort Worth. Shoot 360 combines the latest sports technology with the fundamentals of basketball skill development. The result is a one-of-a-kind video game-like basketball program designed to improve your shooting, dribbling, and passing. Visit shoot360dfw.com to learn more and register for your free 1-hour workout evaluation. Shoot 360, the future of basketball is here.
I love the idea of having open practices for parents. Being in Texas where football is king, even this morning, I'm going to 6th grade PE first period of the day, living the dream here, and the football team is practicing junior high football, and there's dads lined up watching it. Like, they just can't get enough. Coach, I haven't had a lot of parents take me up on my offer to come watch basketball practice over the years. Did you have a lot of parents come?
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like, I don't like if the parent comes all the time. I think that puts too much pressure on their kid. But I had some parents that would be there all the time, and I try to convey that. And it was fine. A lot of parents felt it would embarrass their kid coming. But my biggest thing of doing that is I really want the parent to see how hard they work. And then now the technology, with Huddle and everything, we film practice, and I put practice up there every day. So if a parent wants to watch practice that night with their son or themselves, they could watch it.
That's a great idea. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
No, again, I just think it's great for them to see the time, the effort, and what they're putting in.
I think it's really important for us to, if the parents are one of the stakeholders in our program, and I think that's how we have to look at them, is it's not us and the players and they're over there. If they're one of the stakeholders, we need to bring them into the culture. We need to make them feel like they're a part of it. And I totally agree, because at a parent meeting, I'll tell the parents that your son will be developed every single day through skill work and through competitive, either small-sided games or just how practice goes. I can say that, but when they actually come see it and experience that, I believe it makes them even more allies. And at very least, when they're having that conversation with their son, yeah, I watch you practice. I've seen what you guys do. You are going to get better. Maybe it helps with those conversations at home.
No, it does. And again, I think if you're going to have any type of good program, you have to have that relationship back and forth. I mean, I've had parents, in my last couple of years at Clovis West, I had phenomenal parent support. I mean, to the point where, we go on in the summertime, we're in a different tournament every weekend. We go up and down the state, and parents would drop off snacks and drinks for the weekend. They put them in coolers for the kids. They just phenomenal parent support because you let them be part of it.
Did you have an open door policy as far as playing time goes? Because I've heard a lot of coaches, and I've been a part of staffs too, where parents will talk to you about anything you want, but except playing time, that's off limits. Being at Grapevine Faith Christian School, where they pay to be here, I've taken an approach of the door is open even for that. And I don't mind having those talks with you at all. How did that go for you?
Nope, my door was always open. My only thing to a parent is never come up to me after a game, wait 24 hours, give it time to think. Because if you come after a game and it's maybe a tough game, we lost and you're complaining, I'm not going to be in a good mood, let it go. And then the door is open. Then my only thing when I talk about playing time with a parent, I'll let them know this is what I'm looking for, but don't come in and say, well, I think I'm better than Johnny or Joe. Yeah. No, you're not here every day. It's usually, for me, I try to explain it to them. It's not the 5 best. It's the 5 who play the best together. And a lot of times parents have a hard time understanding that.
Yeah. One of the questions that I ask my parents at our parent meeting that I heard Shaka Smart say, and he talked with his parents, was, he said this with his players, does our relationship depend on your playing time? Is it dependent on your playing time? I think that's a good way to look at it. Like, we need to have our players understand that our relationship can be good and I can care about you even if I don't put you on the floor. And I think so many times parents or players will equate more playing time with more care, a higher level of appreciation. And I think we have to help them the best we can to understand that those two things don't line up.
If you're going to have a good or great team, you have to understand that players 1 through 15 or 1 through 13, whatever you have, they're all very important. Obviously, the top ones are going to get more credit and so forth. And that's why you have to really make sure you develop. For me, I've always been a big believer of playing 10 or 11 players. And I think that keeps team chemistry a lot better. And then how do you handle players that don't play? And you try to outlay what they need to do to get on the floor and how valuable they are in practice and other things that we do. It's just, unfortunately, it's a part of life. I mean, when I was at Clovis West in our Little Hoopsters program, I would have 120 to 150 first graders playing. Okay, by the time we got to sixth grade in our program, we would have about 80 play. By the time they get to eighth grade, we'd be down to about 40 of them playing. When they become freshmen, we're down to about 15. And when they're seniors, we're down between 3 and 5 of them. So it's just the ones that really want it and want to get after it. And obviously, they're a little bit better. They're the ones that are going to survive it and keep moving.
Yeah, that's that game of musical chairs. That's pretty extreme as you go. And then the next jump is even bigger. It's like one chair with 75 people walking around it for that college spot. And that's where I think it goes back to availability, though. Making sure that for those players that you are opening the gym and giving them an opportunity to get in if they want it.
Definitely. And that's the one thing nobody will ever say. Our gym is always open.
I played for Tommy Thomas at the Colony High School, and a few years after being out and getting into high school coaching, I called him and I asked him what's one thing that he would have done differently if he could start over. And great answer always made. And you said something that made me think about it, which is he would have spent more time with 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, getting to know them and making them feel even more a part of it. It sounds like you did a great job with that, because I think so often we focus on 1 through 5, and especially, and maybe a couple of those guys, especially if sometimes your best player, if he brings the most headaches, it feels like you're just spending all the time with him. But to make sure that all of those players feel important, like you said, and valued, I think that's huge.
Well, what's funny about this is I would say some of the kids that had the most success later on in life have come back and met with me and we talked. I've been players 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. They're the ones who persevered and didn't get the glory, but kept playing. And it made them so much better later on in life. I mean, think about it. If you're going to go an hour and a half in the morning, and you're going to bust your tail after school. In summertime, our summer workout, we would go 9 to 12. 9 o'clock, we'd lift, 10 o'clock individual and shooting. 11 to 12, we would play 3 hours a day plus the weekends. You do that all the time, and you're not playing a lot. There's something inside of you that you love this, and you're a competitor, and you got great work habits to be able to do that, even though you're not getting the glory and the credit and so forth. And a lot of those players have really been very successful in their life afterwards.
You already mentioned 46 years of coaching, but I would imagine you're just one of those people that has a growth mindset. You've always had that. What's one thing or the best thing that you borrowed lately?
In 87, I started, in 1987, I went to go, I asked my high school principal, because, back then I would watch English teachers go to these different conferences, and so I just said, hey, I'll pay for it myself, take my sub days. I'd like to take a week each year and go see a different coach and watch them practice for a week. So in 87, I saw Bobby Knight. 88, I saw Lute Olson. 89, I saw Krzyzewski and Dean Smith. And I did that all those years. And I went on and on and on. So like last year, I'm good. Obviously, I think, I'm very close with John Calipari. John and myself are good friends. So I went back to to watch Kentucky last year. And they had, I don't know if you know what the NOAA splashboard is.
Oh, well, the NOAA system is that.
NOAA system, but the splashboard is at 85, we got 85-inch TVs behind our practice baskets. So every time they shoot, it's showing them the arc, left, right, and the depth. And if it's all perfect, it'll splash. It lets the kids have the instant, I wouldn't say gratification, but instant feedback on what their shot's like and so forth. Obviously it's a $50,000 system, but it's something that I felt, was really, really beneficial. That's why I like going to different places, seeing different things and trying to steal different things. But I really think here at Fresno State, it's really helping the kids see their feedback.
That instant feedback is huge for any skill, but I would say especially with your shot, because you could stand there and watch your players and say, that's really good. Oh, hey, maybe a little bit more up and at, a little more arc, a little bit more perfect, man. Just keep doing that. When you turn around and walk away, most likely it's going to fall back to where they're comfortable. So that type of feedback is huge. I was kind of chuckling a $50,000 system. I'm working to get a $500 rim on one of our goals right now, but maybe I just skip that, go to my AD and say, hey, this is the system we need.
At my high school, I had the NOAA, but not the splash.
The wall mount?
Yeah, I had the wall mounts, the cameras up above. That was about 8,000. That was about 8,000 to 10,000, which was great feedback for the kids.
Yeah, and it is pretty affordable once you get them in, and then you get the subscription every year. The great thing about the high mount, we've had the wall mount here for years, and then that kind of finally went out. And I called the NOAA guys. They're like, "Yeah, we don't even do that technology anymore." So that system's done, but it charts all over the floor. Where the old wall mount was just straight on, and it was free throw or 3-point line. So maybe one day, Coach, at Grapevine Faith Christian School, because we do shoot the three quite a bit, and we value that. I think it'd be good for us.
No, honestly, I think it's one of the best tools that you can have.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.